Hey kindergartners, it's Mrs. Seals and I'm back for our next science lab. We are still talking about ways we can observe and describe objects. So far we have talked about how we can describe objects by their shape. We've also talked about how we can describe objects by their size, which remember means if an object is big or small. We've also talked about how we can describe objects by their weight, which means if they're heavy or light. This week, we're going to talk about another way we can describe objects, which is by their texture. So we'll talk about what that means in just a second. All right, so texture. I can observe and record properties of objects, including texture. That's your target today. What is texture? Texture describes how something feels. We observe texture by touching and feeling. What are some words you can think of to describe the way something feels? So I want you to pretend for just a second. Pretend that you have something in your hand. You can't see it, so you're touching it and you're feeling it and you're describing it to somebody else. What are some words you can use to describe how things feel? Go ahead and pause the video. Talk to mom, dad, grandma, babysitter, whoever you're with, and see if you can brainstorm or come up with some words to describe how objects feel. And then when you're done, come back and play the video. So we're going to be talking about 5 main words that we can use to describe how things feel. The first word is rough, okay? And rough is a word that we can describe how a sponge feels. You know that if you feel a sponge, it feels kind of scratchy, like it kind of scratches your skin a little bit. You could feel a bunch of little tiny bumps and things on it. That's rough. A nail file is also rough that you use to shape your nails, maybe after you cut them. A coconut is rough, the outside of it. Sandpaper is rough. Oh, let me go back to that. And sandpaper is rough. All these things we can describe as being rough. Okay, they're kind of scratchy. They have little bumps. They're definitely not smooth. Rough is the opposite of smooth. The next word we're going to talk about is smooth. A mirror is smooth. Ice is smooth. A glass is smooth. A bowling ball. And marbles. All of these things are smooth. Smooth means that it's very flat. There are no bumps on it. There's nothing sticking up. It's very smooth. The top of my desk is smooth. The hard floor in the science lab is smooth. This board, all of these things, they're very flat. I can't feel any bumps or lumps or anything like that. So rough and smooth are opposites. The next word we're going to talk about is bumpy. So bumpy is kind of similar to rough, but bumpy would be not as scratchy. Maybe the bumps are a little bit bigger. Here are some things that are bumpy. An alligator. Do you see the little bump sticking up on it? That's how I know it's bumpy. A road or a street is bumpy. Bubble wrap is bumpy. This pumpkin right here is bumpy. All those things are bumpy. Another way we can describe how objects feel is by using the word hard. Here are some things that are hard. Excuse me. A table is hard. Rocks are hard. Bricks. Whoops, let me go back. All these objects are hard. Now, you might be thinking that Ms. Seals, but rocks can also be rough or smooth. You're exactly right. Sometimes there is more than one word we can use to describe how something feels, because you're exactly right. Rocks are hard, but some rocks can also be described as rough or bumpy, and some rocks, especially rocks that we might find at the bottom of a river, can be described as smooth. So sometimes there's more than one word we can use to describe the texture of an object. And the last word we're going to talk about today to describe how things feel is the word soft. Cotton balls are soft, pillows are soft, a kitten is soft. Now, sometimes kids get soft and smooth confused because they might feel the top of the table and they might say, oh, it's very soft. I don't feel any lumps or bumps. The table is not soft. Listen to it when I knock on it. Does the table sound soft? No, the table is very hard, but it is very smooth. There are no lumps. There are no bumps on it. My finger just glides over it. It's very flat. That's smooth. That's not the same as soft. When you think about soft, think about something that you would like to use as a pillow. Do you think this hard table would be fun to use as a pillow? No way, because it's not soft. It's very hard, but it's smooth. All right, so make sure you understand the difference between soft and smooth. So my friends that are in the science lab with me this week, we're going to be doing an activity where you're going to be touching and feeling some objects, and you're going to be practicing describing those objects and how they feel to your partner. For my friends that are learning at home, this is what I would like for you to do. And remember, these activities that I give you for science lab, these are not required. They're not for a grade. They're just for fun. They're just extra practice. So it says, what can you find? With your parents' permission, do a texture hunt at your house. Can you find something rough, smooth, bumpy, soft, and hard? And if you would like to do this, you can have your parents take a picture of your objects and they can email it to me. And here's my email address right here so that I can see your texture hunt. Again, this is just optional. This is not something you are required to do. Just some extra practice using those words: rough, smooth, bumpy, soft, and hard. All right, I hope that you guys had fun today, and I look forward to seeing you in Science Lab next time. Bye, guys.